All right, hello and welcome everybody to tonight's Rookie League here at Silverstone. I'm Mike Nause, representing for Trackalicious. Hope everyone's doing great tonight. So this is going to be the first race of many for the Rookie League, where we were going to have just a basic qualifying session. I think it's going to be a 12-minute qualifying session, followed up by a 20-minute race, and we're going to do that 2 times. So hopefully we don't see too much chaos tonight, and a lot of these drivers are, as I said before, rookies, so this should be quite interesting. Not sure what times to be expecting. We will see, honestly, as we should see cars getting out on track immediately, as there's no restrictions or anything. There's a couple drivers in here that are not exactly rookies. You might recognize their names from other leagues. Professor Chronotis, Eric Gagassian, I think, who else is in here? Schletter. And then there's like 1 or 2 other drivers that are not exactly what I would consider to be rookies, but they're here because everyone's welcome to race, quite frankly. But how's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing well. So unfortunately, the server is not going to be reset this time. It will be for the next race, and you'll be, I'm assuming you were the one that I was talking to earlier with the car. I would guess next week you'll be able to use that. Oh, it is? Okay, I can change that. Why don't we go for something? Nope, that went the wrong way. Go for something like that. There we go. How's that? Hopefully it doesn't pick up too much background noise, but that should have helped out. Maybe a little bit too much. Much better. Perfect. Thank you. So I just recently got a new mic, so playing with the settings. But looking right now, we're currently looking at not the first car on track. I think car number 44 of Polgarin in the Mercedes here. It's the first car out on track. We'll see what sort of times he's going to be setting here, as this is going to be a long outlap. Silverstone, though, one of my favorite tracks, if not my favorite track. And as I was saying before, it will be 2 20-minute races, so not the longest race, but this is hopefully, like I say, these rookie drivers can manage to keep that nice and controlled for those 20 minutes. Should be very exciting to see. Currently, we got 22 drivers on the field, but right now, we'll hop on board here with Alejandro Polgarin, as he is starting his flying lap, going into Maggots and Beckett's right now. Downshift down to 4th. Ooh, a little bit of understeer on entry. That AMG very heavy, wrestling that GT4 through those turns. Heavy lift through, but staying lightly on the throttle, getting ready to get spit out here onto the hanger straight, where you're going to be flat out in 5th gear all the way down to Stowe. Lifting, downshift all the way down, maybe to 2nd here. Going to stay in 3rd, I guess, for the GT4. It's been a minute since I've raced here. Getting ready to go into the Vale Chicane. Nice entry down to 1st. Very, very nice exit. A little bit of oversteer, though, in the second part of it. Through club. Across the Lewis Hamilton straight. Coming into the arena sector here. Wrestling that car still. GT4 wanting to step out at any opportunity it can here. Getting ready to go out onto Brooklands, or through Luffield onto Brooklands. I think I got it backwards there. That's okay. No, this is, yes, my bad. That was Brooklands here, Luffield Woodcut. My bad. It's been We're getting there. We're getting there. Very early on the throttle, using all the track here. Going to cut to the inside as tight as he can over the curbing. Doesn't take too much of it. And across the line, it's going to set a 2:14. Not sure if that's going to be good. We will find out. Quickly, Schletter, a very experienced driver himself here in the Porsche GT4, taking pole with a 2:13.6. So Polgarin took actually quite the good lap. Ollie G, how's it going? Glad to see you here tonight. A lot of other drivers coming in here. Shooty back in P4 now. Sapien taking pole, actually. In the 263 Mercedes here. Yes, indeed. Let's go, rookies. This is going to be exciting. I really hope that lap 1 goes well. Luckily, as I heard when I was leaving the Discord, Chronotis was saying that luckily there's a lot of gray stuff on Silverstone. I agree, but I don't think we're giving these drivers enough credit. I think that these, at least I hope we're giving these drivers not enough credit. Because we should see some very exciting racing at first here. Be a little interesting towards the middle. Some of these drivers are going to be obviously newer to wheel racing, but see how they manage to do. Racing wheel to wheel, side by side, not exactly the easiest thing known to man, for sure, especially at these speeds. Most of these drivers here setting a lap. Honestly, I was thinking that Eric was one of the only experienced drivers in here not smurfing. So I don't know. Still a 2:13.6 being best lap here. Looking like that's going to do it for Schletter, actually. Not going to set another lap, I don't think. He still has the time to get out there. Yeah, Schletter said that he is going back. I think he said that he was going to be on a full tank of fuel to nerf himself a little bit. There are no Maseratis, you're right. Lots of Porsches we're seeing in there. Couple AMGs. Honestly, a very spread out field for all intents and purposes. Got an Audi, couple BMWs. Looking like here, Lock-Win, the BMW, about to set their lap, actually. I think now they've invalidated their lap. Doesn't surprise me. We'll probably see quite a few invalidations, as a lot of these drivers are probably still learning this track. The amazing track that is Silverstone. As I said before, this is probably my favorite track of all time. It's just one of the most flowing tracks possible, and I say that, and Tomzak here getting held up and giving up on his lap because, yeah, very held up, I should say. Just unfortunate. I'm sure that other car was on their flying lap too. It's bad timing. We see here the Audi of Chris Rise coming into the final sector here. Through Brooklands into Luffield and Woodcut sweep to set their lap. Actually, no, they're on their out lap again. I need to look before I start speaking. So starting their lap actually is Chris Rise, I should say. But here we see Bob Robson. Wow, that's going to get me. Bob Robson here on an absolute flyer of a lap. Currently in second position. Name that I am unfamiliar with. But 7/10 down on their time right now. Getting ready to go into Brooklands. Little aggressive on the entry there. It's going to cut off a bit of time. Using all the track to his advantage there. That was a very good exit. And coming inside, taking deeps on the curbing. Crossing the line. It's going to be a 2:12.5. Taking pole. In the McLaren. Bob Robson. Very nice lap indeed. Shooty. Not going to be able to fight that back. They're going to have to stay in second place at the very best. As the lap time here is, well, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, so anyone not on a flying lap at this point will not be able to finish unless they're about halfway through. A lot of these drivers struggling to improve. There are some familiar names here, I agree, but there are also a lot of names that I don't recognize. Let's see here. Robson, Elmer, Brady. There's a lot of names in here. A lot of names, though, that I do recognize. You're not wrong. The Porsche's looking like they're struggling here at this track for some reason. Porsche, though, I guess not the highest top speed. This track is all about top speed acceleration, not too much of a issue as you're going to be carrying your speed through the corners. I love that camera angle. That's so cool. Eric Gukasian in the KTM. Professor Kenotis as well. Two very familiar names in the Trackalicious community. Obviously, Eric Gukasian, the creator, Trackalicious. Professor Kenotis, a awesome admin here. This qualifying has now come down to its end. Any driver not on their final lap, or on their flying lap already, will not be able to start one. But they will be able to complete it. Pancheniak here, going through Maggots and Beckett's. Heavy on the curves. That looks like an invalidation to me, and I think, yes, it was. So, Pancheniak not going to be improving on their lap this time. But behind him, Brady. Paula Brady. She dives into the woodcut, or the Brooklyn section and Luffield. Going to be improving their lap quite a bit here. Assuming they don't invalidate. Coming around the final turn. Very, very conservative on entry. Takes all the curbs, though, through there. I am always terrified to take those curbs. Goes third place. Excellent lap there. Still a little bit more to be gained, in my opinion, but just an excellent lap in general. Only 7/10 off the pace from Robson. She will be very happy with that lap indeed. Polgarin, one of the only ones, actually the only one still on a flying lap. Not looking like they're going to be improving too much. Unless they have a very good middle sector here, or end sector. 3/10 down on their delta. Coming around the final corner here. And actually, lap is... No, it's not invalidated, but yeah. Vulcan, how's it going? Good to see you here. And now we get into the race here. It's a 20-minute race. I'm going to do a quick grid rundown. I'm doing great, Vulcan. How about yourself? Ready for some rookie racing here. You came at a perfect time. Start of the race. It's going to be quite the long outlap here at Silverstone, as it always is. But going to be an exciting one. A lot of these drivers new to, well, sim racing in general. A lot of them not. It's going to be very interesting to see who prevails out of this. So going down the field here, we got, starting in P1, we got Bob Robson. In P2, we got C. Schutte. Behind them, Paula Brady. Give me a second on that one. Brady, yeah. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ricardo Sapien, P4. Schletter, Niall Schletter, very experienced driver. I know he's told me he was going to be driving on a full tank of fuel. And Vapex, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Behind him, the 22 Alpine car of George Elmer. Then behind them, Fabiano Panchiniak. Behind them, Polgren, or next to them, I should say, excuse me. Tomzak in P9, Rise, P10, Niall, or Lucas Mind, excuse me, in P11. Gibber in P12. Barracosa, P13. Mansell, not Nigel Mansell, Brandon Mansell in P14, but we'll see if he has the speed. We have Bailey Kennan and Patrick D. Then TJ Venture. All behind that'll be Eric Gakassian, Danelli. Got Lock Win in P20. Omar Ashfar, or Ashraf, excuse me, P21. And Professor Kronotis bringing up the rear in P22. Not the biggest grid here tonight, but still nonetheless for a rookie grid. Quite a few cars on track, I would say. And yes, only Audi indeed, Chris. In the mid-pack. So the cars are going to be starting their engines up here. Getting ready for the long outlap of Silverstone. Drivers are going to be trying to get as much heat into their tires as possible, as always. These GT4s a little more difficult to get heat into. They weigh a bit more, but they also just don't have the downforce. Car's now underway here for our first race of the season here in the Trackalicious Rookie League. A lot of these drivers are very eager to get underway, I can imagine. Hopefully the start goes according to plan. Gonna take a quick drink of water. Stay hydrated, everybody, before this race. Not gonna have too much opportunity, I would imagine, during it. Drivers now coming onto the hangar straight. Once again, we can just go ahead, do a quick rundown of the liveries. Why not? And oh, it's going to give me this angle. Oh, but it's got to stay on this angle, though. You can see all the cars going by. Nice. Love to see it. But looking at these liveries here, some very nice liveries. A lot of people putting in some work. I wasn't expecting to see too many liveries, but we have Bob Robson here in the McLaren, looking like they've done a little bit of work themselves. Behind that, we got Schutte. Not too much, looking like they did make their own custom one. Behind that, though, Brady. Yeah, it's Brady. I don't know why that name's so difficult for me, but Paula Brady. The very nice pink and black livery, Sapien behind her. In the 263 AMG as well. A little similar, but more red. Jet approves the livery. That's all that matters. Got Schletter behind that in the golden and purple Porsche. Very lovely indeed. Pancheniak in the Aston. Got George Elmer in the Alpine. Not seeing too many Alpines. I think that's the only Alpine on the grid, actually. Yep, it is. And very interesting to see how they do in that. But luckily, drivers now coming to a close here on the outlap, roughly. They still do have a little bit to go. We want to see Lord West. You want to see some on board with the Alpine? We can do that. I'm not going to do it off the start, as I do want to start from the helicopter, as the cars here now line up into the Brooklands and Luffield section, getting ready to come out of woodcut sweep. 2x2 Noah's Ark formation here. The rookie season of Trackalicious here at Silverstone. Cars all over the place, getting ready to go green here. So the anticipation is killing me, and we are just about ready here. It's always so much longer than I think. And we're still not quite green. And we're green here at Silverstone in the Rookie League, Trackalicious Sim Racing. Fall Rookie League. Great start from P1. Ooh, and P4 making a little bit of contact there to Brady. But Schletter, Sapien, I think that was, getting by, and both Brady holding on. Everyone else looking like they're going to clean getaway into Maggots and Beckett's, though, two abreast. Brady getting ahead for now. And more two wide action again. Mercedes of Sapien, or is that Elmer? There's so many cars, excuse me. Oh, a car off the tracks there of Gig Harbor, or of Harp H. Gibber. Vericosa as well, having a yellow flag, 463 Mercedes. But side 2x2 into Stowe. And now that the race has calmed down a little bit, you see more incidents actually from Donnelly down the field. See Rise, Chris Rise, the only Audi. What happened there? As we see him going too wide into the... Oh, he forgot the middle pedal. Yep, he forgot the middle pedal. And luckily, just absolutely clobbered the curb on the inside, which gave him enough to slow down. But other than that, didn't collect anyone, luckily. But here we'll be on board with George Elmer here in the Alpine, chasing down that AMG. Alpine, not a car that I'm very familiar with whatsoever. I don't think I've ever actually driven it. Looking very planted indeed, gaining on Sapien. And currently, Robson in the lead, followed by Schutte, then Schletter. Behind that, P4, we have Brady, followed by Sapien, then Elmer. Polgarian, Pancheniak, Tomzik. I would imagine this order is not going to be set in stone whatsoever, and there will be a lot of changes throughout. And the Maggots and Beckett's here. Very light on the throttle, fourth gear, down to third, coasting through there, late, waiting as long as you can to get on that throttle. That way that car doesn't understeer into the grass. onto the hanger straight. Actually, I want to hop on board here with Sapien, who is going to have a bit of an opportunity, I think, here going into the Vale Chicane. No, not quite. Backs off early. Doesn't want to just send it too early and ruin their race. But you see, actually, back here, got Brandon Mansell. Woo! Not sure what happened there. A bit of an incident, but I think that was just confusion. We'll hop on board with Polgarin here. Well, not on board. Let's hop with Polgarin. See what he has to offer. Taking an alternate line to Elmer. Bumper cam break. Man, you want all the views. No offense. We'll stick with Polgarin for right now. But we should. I need to get more bumper cam. I agree. I always forget that that's a camera. Polgarin looking like, yeah, not quite. And actually, I think you are going to be. Let's look at Sapien's bumper cam here. No, Bonnet. Wait, wing. There we are. Oh, stepping off the track. That's going to give a good opportunity here to Elmer in the Alpine. Going to get ready to tuck down the inside of a very high-speed corner. Ooh, sends it. Not quite. Elmer, little late on the downshift. Runs off track. Loses a couple positions, I think, there. Keeps it back on the track, though, with a safe rejoin. And he is biting at the heels right now of Polgarin. We will now do that bumper cam that you were asking for. Backing off early, going to take an alternate line. Actually, the Aston Martin coming up in his wing mirror. This is some very clean racing indeed so far. A couple incidents, but here we go. Down the outside of the Vale Chicane. Going to have the inside line in the second part, but doesn't have a car's width next to them. The Aston, I think that is a Pancheniak, down the inside as well. And Elmer's going to run wide. That's going to compromise his exit here. But looking like Pancheniak's not going to have the speed here to get it. And yes, exclamation Discord does work. There you go. Flying Rush, welcome. And yes, this rookie series is for NA. Still open seats to join it, and feel free to get involved, as we have a lot of leagues here in Trackalicious, not just rookie leagues for everybody. More experienced drivers, like as we see in chat here, Ollie G, one of them. We've got Bacardin as well, more experienced driver, joining us tonight. Thanks for everyone joining us tonight, as well as we see some very close racing here, actually, between Elmer and Pancheniak in the Alpine and the Aston. Two cars you normally don't see too much of in GT4, I feel. But Elmer seems like he has the pace to pull ahead, but he just keeps accidentally going off track. Okay, so the races start. This is the first race, actually. It started about 8 minutes ago. They start at 5:30 for Pacific time. That's my time zone. And other than that, yeah, there you go. Mondays 8:30 EST. You could always join for the second race if time zones were an issue, and you couldn't make the first one. This league is all about experience. That's all we want for people. Looking a bit further up the field, haven't checked them out too much. We have Schletter, Niall Schletter, a very experienced driver, currently in P3, chasing down Shooty on a full tank of fuel. Yeah, Hawaiian, that's absolutely, love to have you in this league. Like I say, you can always contact any of the admins in the Discord. They'll get you any information. We have channels in there. I know the Discord's very confusing. There's a lot of channels. But there's a starting. 2 cars are in the pit. Yeah, that's Eric and Chronotis. They're just... Eric is doing admin things. He's the owner of owner of Trackalicious and whatnot. And Chronotis as well, doing admin things. So they're just here to make sure everything's going well. But further up the field, Pancheniak still chasing down Elmer, and Polgren actually right on the tail of Sapien. Looking like he wants to get this move done. AMG on AMG action here. Go onto the bumper cam. Yeah, this is the first race that we've done for the Rookie League. So hopefully this ends up working out, and if people like it, it's something we will definitely continue into more seasons. So. But we're definitely going to be doing this full season, and feel free to hop on board with us. And even just joining us here tonight in the stream is much appreciated. We see Rise with a drive-through penalty, unfortunately. Looking like track limits being a bit of an issue for him. 10 minutes left in this race. Going the wing cam with Sapien. Polgaren biting at the heels of him, but not quite enough to make that overtake happen. Silverstone definitely not the easiest track to overtake on, but as you can see right here, he's going for it down the outside. He's going to try to go for the switchback. Is he going to have the speed? I think he is going to have the speed and the inside line coming into the corner here. The 44 AMG. Can he get this overtake done? Polgaren has the speed, and behind him, Pancheniak as well in the Alpine. Gets the overtake done as well. Sapien getting left in the dust, but still doesn't want to get completely left out, as he's going to challenge back at that Alpine, saying no way. But that Alpine just slipping by. Where did he come from? Yeah, people make their own liveries, and we download them every week. We have a Google Drive for that, where everyone can share them and download them. It's very fun. Yeah, no commitment whatsoever. You can drop out. You can not show up to any race. You can not show up to. You can show up to every race. I mean, it's completely up to you. Especially this season, this league is all about just getting people involved in sim racing. And trying to get, getting into sim racing can be a massive jump, especially league racing, but it isn't really. It feels like it. At least that's what people always, but it really isn't. Yeah, I'm sure we have a league coming up in January as well. It's a ways out, but I'm sure. I don't think we have a schedule that far out just yet. And Elmer in the Alpine, going back with him. Sapien getting absolutely smoked. Pancheniak behind him now, going to be chasing him down. And actually, we see behind that, the BMW challenging the likes of Tomzik in the Aston Martin. Behind that is Chris Rise, who has a drive-through penalty. Going to have to serve that here soon. I feel you dead last. Bailey Kennan back here, battling for P15 with TJ Venture. Yeah, for sure dead last. There's plenty of leagues. Box 3, I think 949, unfortunately, one of our close friends of leagues and everything is, oops, but sorry about that side-by-side action, though. Venture wants to get that overtake on Kennan. TJ, round the inside. This is a battle. I think I wasn't paying attention fully. I was talking too much. Yeah, awesome, Hawaiian. Anytime, of course. And feel free just to pop in the Discord for practice. We have a lot of people there as well that just do that. Whoa, side by side into Maggots and Beckett's, though. TJ and Kennan. Off the track goes TJ, but still gonna, whoa, massively eats the curbing. That's gonna unsettle his momentum a lot coming onto the hanger straight. Now Varricosa is going to be challenging for that position. Looking like he wants to send it down the inside. That AMG very fast in a... Actually, the AMG isn't fast in a straight line. That's right. This is the GT4. Not looking like he can get it done just yet. That's a great question, Hawaiian. I actually don't know the answer to that. Helmer in that little Alpine charging down Polgard in the AMG side by side. Here they go. Gonna go into Woodcut, or not Woodcut, I always say into Brooklands. Then Luffield's gonna go for the switchback line, try to carry the speed, but he gets caught up mid-apex, still going for it. Not sure. I think that killing his momentum there, that's gonna be very tough to keep that going. These GT4s, very, very momentum dependent. If you hurt their momentum, things in motion tend to stay in motion unless otherwise affected. It's definitely true for these. And a little bit further back too, Venture and TJ still not done. Or TJ is Venture. Kennan going off the track. That looks like that's going to put an end to that battle for now. Varricosa looking like he wants to have a look now at TJ. Struggling to find an opportunity right now. As he goes onto the grass looking for an opportunity. Cars coming out of the pits now. I think that was Chris Rise there. Taking his drive-through penalty, falling back to P15. So still in the race. At least he's falling into traffic, where he will have some action. See, that's the thing about these races. Having a drive-through penalty doesn't mean it's the end of your race. That just means it's the end of that position that you were in. Now, he's going to be battling for pretty much 14. TJ Ventures holding this pack up for right now, setting the pace of it, lapping at about a 2:18.1. None of the other drivers lapping faster than that yet, but looking like they have the pace to do so. They just can't get by. With 2 minutes and 43 seconds left of this race, I think we have 2 more laps here. It's the 39 car of Bob Robson is going to be coming through the start-finish straight just about now. We'll have time to finish another lap. In fact, we'll have 2 more laps. Maybe. If he lifts, yeah, I think we will have 2 more laps. We see this action continuing. Varricosa not giving up whatsoever on Rise. After Rise coming out of the pits, and actually I think right there, was that Kenan, I think, ran off the track a little bit again. Happens. It's all good. I do want to jump a bit further up the field here soon, though, as I see Elmer challenging Polgren still. Or Polgaren. Struggling to keep these guys, or at least to keep a gap, but not struggling to keep them behind. Doing a great job so far, but is very defensive into Stowe. Elmer going to try to go around the outside with no success this time. Chris Rise still challenging, or Chris Rise actually, no, Varricosa falling off of Chris Rise. Kenan challenging Varricosa now. Varricosa going defensive. That car, that AMG looking a little worse for wear, looking like it's been collected into the wall. Down the inside goes Kenan. A little bit of contact made, unfortunately. Varricosa gets shoved off the track. Kenan makes it through, both of them staying on track, but contact made nonetheless. Unfortunate. Up ahead, yellow flag, Sapien. What happened there? So you see he goes deep into, I'm not sure which turn sector we're in here. I think we're in the final sector. If it, ooh, he just gets on the grass and just loses it. A self-inflicted error from Sapien. And we will have one more lap. Bob Robson starting his final lap just now. And looking up their field, Schutte still chasing down Schletter. Schletter, I guess, got by him at some point there. But Elmer, this is the real battle I'm very curious with. Polgaren has done absolutely everything he can to keep Elmer behind him. This Alpine has been biting at his heels the entire race, and it's looking like he is going to try his best to hold this position. Only has half of a lap to do so, well, just 3/4 of a lap to do so. But he has a good run here. We'll hop on board with him. Going to try to go around the outside. Polgaren very defensive into Stowe. Goes for the switchback. Going to keep that momentum rolling here. Going to try to challenge into the Vale chicane. But he lifts off there. Not quite. Running out of opportunities to get by. Polgaren doing absolutely everything he needs to here to defend. And more, honestly. He's defending like a madman. But he has a massive moment. Elmer gets by him. Polgaren. Need to go back and see what happened there. Did he eat the curbing too much? Did he run wide? Polgaren getting unsettled on the curbing there, and Elmer getting by. So Elmer in the Alpine getting up to P5, and now Polgren under heavy pressure from Pancheniak. Polgaren was doing everything he could. He was doing so good up until that point. And Pancheniak has the inside line for this final turn. Is Polgaren going to get done on the last corner? Doesn't look like it. AMG is going to stay ahead. The Aston Martin is not going to get that done. Almost an absolute disaster for Polgaren. Lifts off too early. And Pancheniak gets by. I'm at a loss for words. But, anyways, looking at the positions here, we see Bob Robson securing at P1 after getting pole position in qualifying, followed by Niall Schletter, then see Schutte behind them. Just missing the podium is going to be Paula Brady, then Elmer sneaking into that P5. Pancheniak is going to be P6 somehow after Polgarin pretty much gave him that position at the very end there, unfortunately. Behind that is not Gibber. Behind that is going to be Correa in P7. Then Lucas Mind in P8. Steven Tomzik, P9. Sapien, P6 or P10. Right, okay. Just ACC things. Then Brandon Mansell, P11. Chris Rise in P12. P13 is going to be Patrick D. P14, TJ Venture. Varicosa, going to be all the way down in P15. Kenyon, P16. Danella, still yet, no, they have finished, never mind. Oshifar, only one yet to finish still. But we will stay with him for right now. Omar Ashraf, why? I'm dyslexic. I apologize. Omar Ashraf crosses the line. P17. And behind that is going to be Locke Wynn, Eric Gukasian, and Professor Kronotis. And that concludes the first race here of tonight at Silverstone for the Rookie League. We'll be moving on to probably a little lull in a session here of a free practice session, if I had to guess. Then after that, we'll hop into another qualifying. It'll be a 12-minute qualifying, followed up by another 20-minute race. Oh no, Chris Rise got a drive-through for taking a drink. Should have hydrated before the stream, or before the race. So I always try to tell people. But P11, pretty much right where you started. You started somewhere around there. I think you started P10? Correct me if I'm wrong. But speaking of hydration, gotta hydrate.
Green light, give it all you can.
Alrighty. And actually, we're just into qualifying. There's no practice session. We are right underway. Awesome. That means no lull. I am very happy for that. See, 39 car, Bob Robson, eager to get out there on the track again, wanting to prove that he is the fastest of these rookies tonight. Nope, no restart. Oh, okay, so I should have clarified. That's my bad. Nah, mind. For the next race next week, there's not going to be a restart in between races. That is my bad for misclarifying that. I apologize. So no, there's no restart in between races this time. We try to avoid those if possible, as they take a while. Typically the restarts actually take quite a long time. But might as well here hop on board with the 39. Oh, don't worry about it, Hawaiian. Just, yeah. Yeah, of the server, yes. Man, the McLaren sounds like someone's clicking their mouse when they upshift. Is that just me? Why? That's so weird. But now clicking an upshift, coming onto the start-finish straight. We also have a follow from Hawaiian Rush. Thank you. Much appreciated. Starting their lap here, braking at the 50-meter board down to 4th gear. A lot of understeer, but that's GT4 cars for you. Going into Maggots and Beckett's now, up to 5th. Gonna hold it for right now, down to 4th gear for the first part. At the apex here, gonna downshift into 3rd. Holding 3rd throughout this entire complex. Waiting just to get on that throttle, flat out for the rest of the hangar straight here. Through Chapel? No, wait, yes, Chapel, yes. Yeah, that was my bad. I should have worded that a little bit better. Yeah, I forgot that there was 2 races in this, which makes no sense. But anyways, yeah. Bulgarian back to his lap as he wrestles this car through the Lewis Hamilton straight. Into 4th for Cops. Yes, Hawaiian, that is how that works. But unfortunately, he just picked the wrong car and then changed it just a little bit too late. It is the hashtag blessed straight. Yes, indeed. Wrestling through Woodcut. Getting ready to cross the line. We'll see what sort of time he can put in here for the first lap of this qualifying session. Not too aggressive on the inside of the curbs, looking like he wants to continue for another lap. Goes for a 2:11. Wow. That is much faster than last race. So Bob Robson improving immensely. Behind that, Tomzik, well, getting quickly beaten out by Chris Rise in the Audi, who last race took a drink of water and ended up getting a drive-through for that reason exactly, going off tracks. It's the Bless Ed straight, indeed. Ando, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Brady, pulling up to P3. Paula Brady, a name I'm not familiar with in sim racing, putting in a 13.5. So hopefully someone will be seeing. Love to see her in future leagues. We got more follows. Red Swamp, thank you. The trick with Maggots and Beckett's. Alright, so there's one way to take Maggots and Beckett's in these cars. And let's see if I can hop on with someone who definitely knows how to shledder. As he's about to go into Maggots and Beckett's. So see how he holds 5th gear until he's about halfway through the end of 4th. And you're holding 4th gear. It's like he takes this way differently than me. And he's way faster than me. You know, maybe I'm bad. That very well could be. Yeah, the trick is just downshift later than you think, is what I learned from that corner. Holy! Oh, that's going to put an end to Schletter's lap. Go back and check that one out again. That's an unfortunate no-no in qualifying there, as I think Sapien Just pulling onto the racing line. What, the camera? Oh, thank you, Dead Last. But Bob Robson as well here, taking not the correct line through turn 1. Invalidating his lap. That's going to be another lap to just drive around the track, unfortunately. Oh, that wasn't turn 1 either. Okay, that was, at least that was in the middle of the track. Man, I cannot unhear that McLaren upshifting. Thank you, Dead Last. I really appreciate that. Brady sneaking up to P2, 1 second down, putting in a 2:12.6. The track rubbering in a lot since that last race, very clearly. 3 minutes left here, 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. Oh, I'm Mike. Mike Nause. That's me. Hawaiian always got to put in some laps. You never shouldn't. If you're feeling it, why not? Yes, the Ferrari downshift is great. How it pops the gas into the exhaust. Yeah, I did last. And thank you, B4BB, for the follow. Much appreciated. Brady getting out qualified right now by Shooty, with a sneaking in just a half a tenth ahead of him. Very impressive. And that's the end of that qualifying session for him. Well, actually, he can get, if he gets into the pits immediately and back out, but he's already losing. Yeah, it's going to be close if he does it. Dude, I like I say, Silverstone is by far my favorite track. I love this track, just historically, for just how it is to drive. All of the racing that's been done here over the years, not even just through, Formula and GT racing, even MotoGP and so on. And I know they don't race, I don't think they race Silverstone at MotoGP anymore, but still very. And Brady stealing P2 back. Shooty having a shootout with Brady. Oops, I think I just bonked my mic. My bad. A lot of these drivers coming to the end of their qualifying session, but Pancheniak still improving on this lap. He's going to have to improve a little bit more than he is right now. Currently 2/10 down on his time, but he needs to improve by about a half a second to make any real progress in the leaderboards here. Elmer in the pits, not going to be challenging. Rise as well. Tomzik closest, but not going to be the only one. Eric Gagosian actually is going to be coming across the line right now. Jumps up to P7. In the KTM crossbow. The lovely Barney livery of purple and green. Pancheniak now getting ready to come into the final sector. 2/10 up on their delta, still improving, but not enough to improve on Shooty. And also, Bob Robson improving on his time, not that it matters. I don't think anyone is even challenging close to his lap time right now. I take that back. Schletter comes in 8,000ths or 800ths of a second off. What a very nice lap. Schletter, not a rookie, as I said before. But I'm also starting to think that Bob Robson is not exactly a rookie either. But we will, I mean, if they are rookies, they're very good rookies. And thanks, TJ. So Schletter, half a second. Okay, Schletter is going to smash pole position if he keeps this lap up. We'll hop on board with him just to see as he's... Oh, yeah, he is absolutely pushing to the maximum right now in that Porsche. That Porsche all over the place through the chicane, onto the Bless Ed straight, getting ready to go into the corner where the Bless Ed maybe allegedly murdered Max Verstappen. And into the... What is this, arena complex? I always forget this. Flat out, all the way up to fifth gear. Going to be braking at that the turn board. Down to third. Holy, a massive bit of oversteer. That is not going to help his lap time. I think he's still going. He's not getting pole. He's drifting through the final turn. That Porsche, and he's off the track. That's going to invalidate his lap. Not going to improve. But he was absolutely up. Like, I think it's about 8/10 on his time there. So would have smashed pole position, but not quite. Last person on their lap there, Patrick D. Thank you, Ryan, for correcting me or for confirming that for me. And coming across the line is Patrick for P18. Do a quick grid rundown again. As we see in P1, once again, Bob Robson hitting that pole. We'll see if he can manage to keep it again, as he did win last race's winner. Behind that is going to be Schletter. Now Schletter, very experienced driver. Behind that, Paula Brady. Name that, once again, I'm unfamiliar with, but so far has been doing a great job. Smashing it on P3 both times. Behind that, Shooty for P4. Next to them is going to be Pancheniak in P5. Okay, behind, and then next to them is going to be Elmer. Sapien. Behind them, P7, Rise, P8, Eric Gukasian, P9, Tomzik, P10, Polgarin, not the best qualifying from him, down in P11, Varicosa, down P12, Mansell, Brandon Mansell, not Nigel Mansell, down in P13, Professor Chronotis, P14, got Hayden Gibber, P15, Bailey Kennan, P16, Locke Wynn, P17, Patrick D, P18, TJ Ventures, P19, John Donnelly, P20, and bringing up the back of the grid here for P21 is Omar Ashraf in the 718 Porsche. So we got a minute and a half left here until the cars get underway. We can go through, look at some liveries, why not? If anyone has any liveries in particular they'd like to look at, feel free. Say it in chat, and I can go ahead and take a look. But Brady with a very nice livery. Even the more basic liveries here, like Shooty, still nice. A lot of drivers putting some work into their liveries here for tonight. Even got a little Mexican flag there representing. At least I think is that, yeah, that is the Mexican flag. I think it's kind of hard to tell. Oh. No, that doesn't say that. But, yes. Audi there. KTM. Astons. A lot of cars here on the grid tonight. It's a very nice Aston. Car is now starting up. You see a lot of drivers putting in quite a bit of work on their liveries as well, so. Definitely want to show off these liveries here. People worked quite hard on them. Yeah, there are 2 KTMs in this field, both of which are the Trackalicious admins, but yeah, they are in the field. Cars get underway here now for their formation lap. And now I remember where they go green. There's a car zooming off into the distance there. Multiple cars, just they're gone. Hopefully they don't get teleported back. See, one car yet to get off the grid. Number 12 car. Who is that? Number 12? Oh, they got off the grid. Okay. That was Venture. Little late, but managing to make it. And, I don't know who that was. John Donnelly there, having a little bit of an off-track excursion on the outlap. And that livery that we were looking up earlier, that was Patrick D. That has put some massive work in with the fast food livery. Very nice indeed. Yeah, it's just a Janetta lawnmower, yeah, exactly. It happens, it happens. Still love that angle. ACC did a great job with that one. It holds for, if I had one complaint about that angle, it just is a little too long on the exit. These drivers here not getting too much heat into their tires. I don't see too much weaving going on here. So drivers very satisfied with their setups then, I would imagine. A lot of them. See a bit of weaving going on here on the Lewis Hamilton Bless Ed straight. But Schletter got ice in his veins. And he's going to have ice in those tires if he doesn't warm them up at all. But Schletter, very experienced driver, much more than I am, I would even say. Definitely knows how to get heat into his tires, so doesn't really need to take advice from me. And that Bob Robson turning into a little bit of a McLaren curb mower. Not sure what that was about. And these drivers now lining up here on the hangar straight. Not the hangar straight, excuse me. Brooklyn's. Wait, what is this straight called? I don't think I know what that straight's called. I'm sure I do, and I just don't remember it, but anyways. You see the crowd filled up to the brim. Not really. There's only a couple people in the crowd there in the grass. They're all pixelated. But lining up two abreast, Noah's Ark formation. Drivers eager to get underway here. Bob Robson should be leading us off, but Schletter currently ahead of everyone. I'm not sure if their deltas are accurate or not, but should be Bob Robson on pole. Looking like, there we go, he's going to pull up there. And we do see a driver entering the pits, unfortunately. Not sure what that's about. As we are getting ready here to go green at Silverstone for the second race of the season. Rookies, Trackalicious season. Great start from Bob Robson and Schletter. Looks like Brady got caught sleeping a little bit. Shooty managing to get by for now into the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Shooty is firmly ahead. Wellington Straight, that's what it is. There you go. Looking down the field, we don't see any massive incidents. That's what you like to see so far, at least. So far, so good. Everyone navigating through Maggots and Becketts mostly. And I don't know why I'm focusing. I mean, I nothing against... Oh, but he went for a move there. I should have stayed on him. So yellow flag a little bit further ahead there. Gibber going off the track. But Shooty still ahead of Brady. Brady looking like he wants to get that... Or she wants to get that position back. And that Elmer in the Alpine P6 fighting his way through. Pancheniak defending for his life from Chris Rise right now. The 21 Audi, but it looks like actually Chris Rise is the one defending for his life. Sapien wanting to get by in that AMG, goes down the inside. Gonna make that stick. No, it's not. Getting ready to come on to the hangar straight. Definitely didn't just learn that. Side by side is Sapien and Tomzik. Not sure where Tomzik came from. And then behind that, Eric Gukasian gonna send it down the inside as well of Sapien. Gets that job done. And behind that, Sapien getting absolutely mobbed. We have Polgren here trying his best to get by as well. Alejandro Polgaren going to try everything he can. Running wide is Sapien. That's not going to help his defense whatsoever. Side by side into turn one. It looks like they're going to go, but no. Polgaren gets it done before the turn even happens. Runs wide, though. Takes out the cone. The cone goes flying onto the gravel. Into Maggots and Becketts. Looking like Polgaren did get that sealed and is going to hold on to that position for now. A bit further up the field, Elmer chasing down the 48 AMG, which looks like a Lexus for some reason, of Brady. But I assure you, that is an AMG. The Aston Martin of Pancheniak behind that, struggling a little bit to keep up. But Rise not quite having the pace to get by or catch up just yet. I love those little headlights on the Alpine. Like the little ones, not the normal ones. I don't know what they're for. It has like glasses. It's got 4 eyes. Polgaren, though, all over Eric Gukasian. Not sure when Eric got by. But it was very recently here, but I don't think Polgren's too happy with that. He does have the pace to stay ahead of Sapien right now, but Sapien definitely has the pace as well. We see Ashraf doing donuts in the grass, unfortunately. Hate to see it. Elmer chasing down Brady. Brady doing a great job holding this pressure back so far, though. She goes defensive. Not too defensive, though. Just tucks on the inside a little bit, not giving Elmer any opportunity to send it down the inside. Hop on board with the Alpine for right now. Stays in 5th through Maggots, goes to 4th through Becketts, down to 3rd. Okay, there we are. Has a decent run. Will the Alpine be able to carry that speed through the hangar straight to get the overtake done and stow? That AMG quite fast, but he has the slipstream. She goes defensive, but tucks out. Down the inside, Elmer has a look, but doesn't go for it. Wants to go for the switchback, but behind him, he needs to be careful. At Pancheniak, right in his rearview mirror. Getting ready to go into the Vale section here. Down to first gear. No, down to second. All right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I forgot you don't use the first gear in GT4 cars. I know, he's pulling out of the... AMG, it's the Alpine, I think. The AMG's not particularly fast. I just think the Alpine is particularly slow. But here we go. He's going to go for it around the outside. Tries to make the switchback happen. She doesn't. Leaves the gap open. Down the inside of the next turn. Not going to have the greatest run. Going onto the hanger straight, unfortunately. But will the Alpine have the acceleration to get this done? Side by side. We'll jump into third person. Going into the final turn complex, the Alpine braking late, manages to get the nose ahead for right now. Brady doesn't have it in her to get that overtake or to defend for right now. Gonna try to come back at him around the first corner, I would imagine, but looking like Elmer has that pace to pull ahead. Brady gets firmly overtaken there and is now in the grips of Pancheniak. Struggling for pace just a little bit. She's shown that she has very good pace, especially from last race and qualifying. But maybe this race got something wrong with her setup. As Pancheniak now through Maggots and Beckett's hop onto the wing. Yeah, there we go. Just to see how close that Aston Martin is. 76 Aston Martin chasing down the 48 AMG. That AMG is actually quite fast. Aston Martin not going to have a move just yet. But Brady goes very defensive for some reason there. Pancheniak is fairly content to stay on the outside. And she goes defensive again into the chicane. This is not going to be helping their race time too much, unfortunately. Pancheniak, though, he's not gonna, I mean, he's gonna have a hard time overtaking if she keeps this up. Looking like she does have the pace right now to keep Pancheniak behind. See if by the end she manages to keep that up. Be very interesting. I think she can. Mansell there, going onto the grass, chasing down Sapien. Doing everything that he can to get this overtake done. We see yellow flag, Ashfar win. Go back, see what happened there. A little bit of collision, I think, between the two. We see Win coming up behind Ashfar. Ashraf, excuse me, I am so sorry. I'm going to mispronounce it. And he just, Win breaks. He forgets the middle pedal exists. It happens to the best of us. And Ashraf, an innocent victim there, gets slammed into by the BMW that forgot about their middle pedal. Brady got overtaken by Pancheniak. Unfortunately missed that. Sorry about that, guys. Rise, though, now on Pancheniak. Yeah, she must have got something wrong with her setup there. Tire pressures are off or something, because she is falling through the field right now. Through Maggots and Beckett's they go. Heavy braking. Looking like she doesn't want to stay in P6. She wants that P5 back. But she needs to worry about Rise behind her right now, because Rise, I think, is going to go on the offensive very soon. But I say that. Brady looking like she wants to send it down the inside of Pancheniak. Not just yet. Biding her time, waiting. Into the Vale complex, Pancheniak going super defensive around the outside. Brady gonna have the inside for this next corner. They don't make contact, but Pancheniak manages to stay ahead. Rise is gonna sneak through on the inside. Doesn't manage to get it done, unfortunately. Both of them run wide. Pancheniak holds his position. Brady staying in her position, and Rise as well. But all of them just at a literal millimeter away from colliding with each other and all their races ending. Very good racing from these rookies. That is one thing I forgot. I'm watching a rookie series. This is some really good racing. Brady runs wide, very wide there. Rise is going to have a decent chance, but I think that AMG power is going to be able to hold her ahead. But Rise has the overspeed, I think. Is he going to tuck down the inside? Not quite. Content where he's at. Check out a bit further down the field. See Donnelly here chasing Gibber. And Gibber is chasing Patrick. The Ginetta, Porsche, and Porsche. And then behind that is the lapped car of Venture. They're Donnelly running wide, struggling a little bit to stay behind them. Patrick doing what he can in the 808 Porsche to stay ahead. He's doing a good job. Gibber doing as what he can to catch up, but I will say Patrick's doing everything he needs to right now. He's staying on track, driving his line, and well, quite frankly, that's all he really needs to do with 8 minutes left. And we see a collision up here. Rise and Brady. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that was not the time to look at that. That was okay. Well, we're now back 15 seconds. Not sure what happened there, unfortunately, but it looks like Brady and Rise at hard racing got a little too hard, and they both made contact with each other. But now, speaking of hard racing, Patrick and Gibber down the inside, gets that overtake easily sold. But Patrick late on the brakes, and he's way too late on the brakes. He's so late on the brakes that he went off the track, and unfortunately, we saw Donnelly getting by Patrick as well. As you can see here, Venture not getting in the way. He's lap traffic. He knows he doesn't really want to impede these guys' race. Very nice of him. He doesn't have to do that by any means. Checking at Brady here. Yeah, that AMG not looking like it's in the best condition. That is a sad AMG right there. 6 minutes left to go in this race, down to P14 after that incident is Brady. And we will also see here that where is Rise coming off even worse in the pits, just retired from that. Both of them going into the barrier, it looked like extremely hard. I'm very curious to see what happened there, as that was, what lap was? I mean, there was 6 minutes left in the race. I want to check that out afterwards. But Bob Robson comfortably leading, 2.5 seconds to Schletter right now, doing a great job of it as well. Absolutely lovely drive from him, both races so far. Schletter as well, doing everything he needs to. Shooty, name I'm not familiar with as well. Currently in third place for that podium. Elmer in P4 in the Alpine. That's a great drive. I know Elmer benefited massively from that collision from Rise and Paula. But yeah, Elmer just staying out of trouble, keeping his nose clean, and those little tiny circular headlights that he has on the front of his car, and doing what he needs to run into P4. I think he's going to be very happy with his drive so far. 5 minutes left, though. Not set in stone by any stretch of the imagination. Tomzik chasing down Polgarin a little bit further back. Doing everything that he can to push that Aston Martin to the limit to catch that AMG. But Polgarin doing a great job so far in both races. I know didn't have the greatest end to last race where he kind of lifted off before the finish, but other than that, he's been driving absolutely wonderfully. Behind that, we see Eric Gakosian in the KTM Crossbow chasing down Sapien in the AMG. Yes, Brady did stay out with the damage. She is just going to ride it out till the end. Honestly, which makes sense. Her pit is going to probably be longer than the race at this point. Professor Cronotis trying to overtake Brandon Mansell. Wiggling their way through the Maggots and Beckett sector. Oh, honestly, a tremendous amount of respect. A lot of people would have did what Rise did, which is, I mean, there's not much wrong with what Rise did. I mean, I understand the frustration of going into a wall and returning to pits. But yeah, Brady staying out for P13. I mean, she has currently 3 seconds over Kenan. And lapping about 2 seconds a lap faster, actually. Wait, that was 2:15. I think that was her last lap. But I think I think she's lapping just fine, even with that damage. So driving that wounded and battered Mercedes to quite the result. And we see another Patrick. Let's see what happened here. Patrick forgetting his middle pedal down the inside, makes collision with number 12 there, Venture. Venture, unfortunately, an innocent bystander. It looked like Patrick waiting and letting him by very nicely. Yeah, she's also lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than Kenan is. So yeah, she definitely has that position sold for P13. So for all things considered, not the worst result from getting slammed into a barrier, which I didn't see what happened there. I don't know who was at fault. But yeah, that was quite the impact. That's all I know. And Cronotis did manage to get by Mansell. Eric Gakosian still yet to get by Sapien. With 1 minute left in this race here. Leaders about halfway through their lap. Going to be coming on to the final lap here for their next. Not too much action on track right now as these gaps are quite spread out. Eric Gakosian pretty much the closest one. Brandon Mansell as well, but I think Cronotis has the pace over Mansell, so I guess we might as well stay on Brady. See if she can manage to keep this gap, which she actually has already pulled out a 3-second gap to Kenan behind, so never mind. She is more than capable of holding that position for sure. Eric Gakosian going to be chasing down Sapien to the very end. This is going to come down to maybe even the last corner, where he's been a second behind for a while now. He has the pace to catch him. He just needs to find the right part of the track to unleash that. And actually having a big moment of understeer, it looked like there, and losing a lot of time. So that actually is going to maybe ruin his chances at getting an overtake done. Brandon Mansell here. And actually, yeah, Brandon Mansell is still chasing down Cronotis, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, but very well. He's doing a great job of it. I would have expected Cronotis to pull away by now. But doing everything he can to keep within a second of him for right now in that slipstream. Cronotis running wide, not helping his cause out. A little bit further down, we see Donnelly in the Ginetta, currently in P16. Looking like That is a lapped car behind them there, Venture. And for this last lap, might as well ride on board here with Bob Robbins. Or Robson, excuse me. Hear the clicking of the mouse from the McLaren and its upshifts. As he navigates his way into the final sector here, into the arena complex, getting ready to go out onto the you told me it, why did I forget it? Wellington Straight, there we go, onto the Wellington Straight. Getting ready to go into Brooklands, then Luffield, to bring it home with Woodcut Sweep. I guess this is Luffield, then Woodcut Sweep. Bob Robson, not just one win tonight, 2 wins, gets pole position both races, comes across the line, first place. Great drive from Bob Robson. Hands down. Schletter as well. Excellent drive from him. Lands at P2. Schutte in P3. Coming across the line. That Alpine flashing its little headlights. P4. Pancheniak, a hard-earned P5. Pogard as well. P6. Tomzik, P7. Sapien comes home. P8. Behind that, Eric Gukasi in P9. Vericosa coming across Woodcut right now. End the line to get P10. And Chronotis behind that. Brady with an unfortunate result of P12. Could have had a much better result. Had a little bit of misfortune in the middle. Kennan coming home in P13. Behind that, Gibber right behind him, challenging to the very end. Donnelly, P15. Patrick, P16. Ashraf, P17. Mansell looking like he isn't going to finish. Yeah, he's pulled over in the wrong pit lane. I think he's in the old pit lane. Venture comes across the line. And Rise, last place, having that incident with Brady earlier, retires from it. But overall, an absolutely amazing race from these rookies, I will say. Bob Robson drove amazing. I mean, there's no taking that away. So I will see. Looks like not a lot of these guys are in this Discord. That's okay. So when it comes to post-race interview, yeah, he is using the Bless Ed pit lane. Yeah. Schletter we can grab, I suppose. And shoot. Oh, it's shoot. Wait, shooty. But it's, I don't know. Anyways. Let me grab Eric. Hi, Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
Would you mind grabbing
yes.
Shooty and Schletter for me, please?
Well, they're both here. So Case and Niall, you guys are invited for your winning interviews.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So I will pull you up there. That's okay?
Thank you, Wyatt. Appreciate it.
Fun.
So we have Case Schutte and Niall Schleter. Schutte and Schleter, you guys are like a dynamic duo.
Schleter was blowing my doors off.
Yeah, Schlitter is unfortunately has a bit of an advantage over some of these rookies, I would say.
A little bit.
maybe a
Just a
couple,
little bit.
maybe a couple hours of driving over, you know, every single member in the field added up together.
It was a lot of fun, though. I really like all these events you guys throw down, and I don't know, just here to have a lot of fun, huh? Here to have fun.
Did you end up taking that full tank of fuel?
I took more than needed. I took 50 for each round.
Okay.
That's a no.
So he
That's a
cheated.
no.
No,
Yeah, he
I did
cheated.
not take a full tank.
He lied and cheated.
I hate you.
And you're not
I said
a
I
rookie.
might. I said I might.
All of us, we all took fuel. Everybody in rookie took fuel tank, and you were running low.
Oh, lies. I was in the other chat. I heard.
So, I do want to direct the question towards Shooty here. So, Case, I think your first league experience, right?
Yep.
How was
Yep.
that? How'd you like it?
Oh, no, it was a lot of fun. You guys, like mentioned earlier, it was a lot of fun, and it's good to see everybody had fun, had good battles. Yeah,
Green light,
I've
give it okay.
raced quite a bit, but never had this opportunity, and it was yeah, looking forward to the rest of the Monday evenings. I can't wait.
Yeah, in case I would say that considering your pace against Schleter, you are probably would fit right into our other league. So if you were interested in joining the mixed series in on Thursdays and the GT3 Sundays, you are more than welcome to.
Oh, I'd appreciate it. I did look at that. I don't consider like I said, I don't consider myself uh much more than a rookie, but I trust me, Hungaro Ring and that are gonna come up, and you're gonna see a whole different different racer.
Different beast.
Yeah, Silverstone's one of my good ones, and but yeah, as soon as yeah, Hungaro Ring or Zandvoort or something like that come up, I'm gonna be a hot mess, and that pace is gonna go away real quick.
Well, that's next week.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Can we get like a practice server going just to build the camaraderie?
Yeah, for sure. Uh, Brandon, we are on stream right now. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, but we're always happy to set up practice servers in between the races. Usually it's set up to the next race of whatever is going on. So we'll probably set it up for Thursday. But if anyone has a special request, just tag an admin and one of us will get to it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, Mike, who won the first race?
Bob Robson, the man who just joined, and the man who won the second race, and the man who took pole position the first race, and the man who took pole position the second race. So essentially, a masterclass. Bob
Wait, did
Robson.
he win the whole weekend?
Yes, he did.
Oh, interview time.
How's it going,
Hello,
Bob Robson?
everyone.
Great drive.
Hello, guys. Yeah, thanks. I just stepped by here to hang out a little bit. It was a very fun race. I'm happy to be here the first time. Thanks, everyone. I just was looking for a very nice place to race on Monday, so I think find one. uh, yeah, that's all. I think.
Yeah, you had great pace the entire time. I mean, putting it on pole both races and winning both races. I mean, you had like I said, just an absolute masterclass of a drive.
Yeah, actually, this is something I can tell to everyone, we starting on virtual racing. It's important to always practice in the same track, a track that you like. In my case, it's Silverstone, and also with the same car, always to improve all the time. Because if you go and split the cars, you can't understand how the cars are, the behavior, whatever. So this time was a little bit lucky to me because I love Silverstone and my my primary car is the McLaren. So this has helped me a little bit.
Yeah, practice makes perfect for sure, and you definitely,
Yeah.
like I say, did pretty much as perfect as you could.
Yeah. And McLaren is not so easy to master because he not he it not have a lot of options to set up. So you have to understand a little bit more about dampers or how the car can behave on the brake situations. So, but yeah, I could master it a little bit, I think.
Oh, great job, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
What car were you in? What car? Oh, McLaren. Obviously, you were just talking about it a bunch. Never mind.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
the he was just asking you which car you were driving, Bob, but we know you're driving the McLaren.
Yeah, I
Um,
was driving McLaren.
So I think it's important to note, even within a rookie race, that it's winning doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of practice, and Bob telling us that we're on his favorite track with the car that he's used to. So a lot of factors go into being fast at a track. It doesn't just come naturally. Um, so congratulations, great job, Bob.
Oh, thank me. Thanks. I'm very glad about that. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
We'll go
I'm sure.
celebrate. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sure Niall and Case are gonna be putting in a little bit of work to try and catch up to you next week. So
I think
Definitely.
so. It'll be a little bit hard
yeah,
to beat in P1. So I hope that this guy come up to me. I don't know what happened to the second the P2. I don't remember the guy, but he was driving a Porsche, and then I saw him going a little bit far away from me, lap to lap, maybe because fuel. I'm not sure.
I definitely didn't run enough gas the second time. I was trying
Uh,
to catch you as fast as possible. And I
yeah,
noticed
I
that if
got
I
it.
didn't fuel save just a little bit for like 2 laps, then that's when you just dipped me for 5, 6 second gap, and I couldn't back up again.
Got it. Yeah,
Couple 10,
this is
couple
something
of laps, I had a 2:10.5 on the board before I messed it up. So I'm getting there. You're rapid though, and I really like your pace. Uh, Forward to
yeah,
racing you next week.
this is something I don't recommend to anyone to try finish the race with just with 2 or 3 liters. Uh, it's very dangerous. You can mess up your entire race because 2 liters or whatever. So I always finish my race with about around 10 liters on tank. So this make me feel more comfortable to push hard all the laps.
Yeah. Anyways, Brandon, since you're here, do you have anything you'd like to close with?
No, not at all. Yeah, just what he said. Make sure you bring enough fuel.
Fair enough. All right, Eric. Do you have any final words? I'll let you go ahead and close this one out.
no, I just I actually congratulations to all of the drivers for doing so well within our rookie season. I mean, for some it was their first league race, and a very clean and competitive league race at that as well. So great job to everybody, and I look forward to next week's race.
Yeah, absolutely. So at that, I'm going to go ahead and close this stream. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks all the drivers and everyone that watched tonight. Hope you guys all have a great night. And we're going to send the raid over to New World Sim Racing. They're doing a race at Bathurst. Looking like they're about halfway through, maybe a little bit more. Make sure you go join there and say hi. And
Show some love to the New World guys. They're a great bunch of people.
yeah, thanks everyone for being here.
Good night. Boa noite.
See you guys.